I can. All right. Hello, everybody. This is the first installment of our lived experience interview here with my friend Brian. Um, First of all, Brian, can you introduce yourself and share a little bit about who you are outside of kidney disease?
Yeah, so my name is Brian. I live in Gresham, Oregon, and um, I'm a dad. I'm a husband. Um, both my kids over are are ready to be done with college, and one's out of college, and one's just finishing up college. So, um, currently, I drive a school bus. Um, but most of my career has been in summer camping and retreat industry, I guess, with the United Methodist Church and with the YMCA. Um, so, yeah, lots of great opportunities to be outdoors. I love being outdoors and sharing nature. I have a degree in environmental education, so just kind of where my passion and
Mhm.
things line up. Um, Driving a school bus right now doesn't quite meet those passions and stuff, but I do get to be outside every day, so I guess
Right.
it's a bonus.
Well, and interacting with the kids as a school bus driver myself is always fun.
Mm.
So
It is. Most days are fun. There are some
most
challenging
days,
days
right?
when you're like, I don't want to do this right now.
Yeah, that's for
But
sure.
but you do.
Yep.
So
Okay. W- What does a normal day look like for you? Because I don't know how much you want to share, but what does a normal day look like for you?
yeah, so just a quick brief, history of maybe my kidney disease. I'm on my second transplant.
Okay.
My first transplant as a young adult lasted almost 30 years, which is
Awesome.
great. My last one has been about 18 months now. So um, I've tried to be as normal person as possible. I think with the great advancements in, kidney transplantation, the medicines in there protecting you from, not rejecting your kidney. Um, I think there's every reason to believe that you can lead just a normal life like everybody else. And I don't think anybody would really know the difference. Um, I mean, aside from just taking medications each day, which is not hard to do at all, especially when you've been doing it for 30 years.
Right.
Um, you get into a routine, but you just have to kind of be aware of your body and um, what it's going through, and keep your doctor appointments.
Hmm.
Um, After 30 years of immunosuppression and stuff, you do have a few more side effects that come about over time. So I think that's, as folks get older with their transplants, is something to keep in mind. Um, just keep talking with your nephrologist and about what those side effects can be just from chronic immunosuppression mostly. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, every reason just to be normal. So I encourage everybody to try and do as much as they can.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah. Especially after you get that transplant, right? It's so much easier to lead a normal life, right? I didn't get to do dialysis. I don't know about you, but even not on dialysis before my transplant, it was a little rougher, I would say.
yeah, yeah, and everybody has different diseases that cause their chronic kidney disease.
Hmm.
And some, you're going to have other lingering effect beyond just the kidney transplant. Fortunately, I'm one that, you know, is basically a kidney disease and no other outlying indicators and stuff. So that's allowed me to, be as normal as possible. But I know that that's not true for everybody because there's other factors that other issues that they're dealing with besides just, chronic kidney disease. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's encouraging that you say that you're able to live a normal life, even for the people on dialysis who might, or who people who are gonna go on dialysis who think, oh man, my life is over. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not gonna be able to do this. Sure, there's limitations, like the diet and things like that, but I feel like, and again, I don't speak from experience, but I did wait 17 years for a kidney. And I feel like there are ways to live a normal life when you have this disease. It just looks different for
Yeah, I think yeah, transplantation, it certainly allows you the most freedom and flexibility. I was on peritoneal dialysis for 10 months before receiving a living donor organ. So um it's hard, you
yeah,
know. It you you feel okay, but you don't feel well,
right.
So um and if you do it for a long time, it can be hard. So I think the biggest thing is just make sure you continue to keep your support team around you, your family, your friends. They want to be included. They
Mhm.
You need to include and be, sharing about how you're feeling because they want to support you. Um, you know, like any relationships, it can get strained or it can get annoying at times, and you just want to be left alone sometimes. Um, but having a strong support team um, is really helpful to keep you going,
Mhm.
especially if you're working and you want to have relationships and you know it's okay to be open about it. Maybe a little guarded too, but
Mhm.
I think trusting people to be there for you is a really important part of helping you manage the ups and downs. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. What growing up with kidney disease, it was really my mom who was my support person. And I've said it in every interview so far, and I'll say it again, but I don't know what I would do if it weren't for my mom being
Yeah.
there for me and helping me understand my medical condition and helping, well, my medical conditions,
Right.
and helping me understand my medication and things like that. And it helps having good doctors too that are able to sit down and explain that to you, right?
Sure. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to have some good doctors throughout my journey. So, um, but yeah. Um, what are some things that keep you going on difficult days? Because we all have them.
Um, yeah, I mean, let's see. I think, just an example of maybe what a difficult day is, your blood pressure is up and you're not feeling
Yeah.
that great. Um, drink water. I mean, that's the classic
Right.
kidney
Right.
kidney thing. It's like,
That's what the
um,
nephrologist would say, right?
but that's I have a stomach ache. When did you drink water? I have a muscle cramp. When did you drink water?
Right.
So, um, definitely encourage everybody to drink water. I mean, everybody may hear this way too much, but it's really important because I think, recognizing when you're not feeling good is like, oh, I haven't been doing this
Mm,
um, like I should have. I haven't been eating the right diet, this last week. Maybe that's what's affecting me. So,
right.
kind of down in my water intake. Maybe that's why I'm feeling kind of bad. So, just being able to recognize those things, when you're feeling a certain way, and just kind of going back and saying, oh yeah, I need to increase my potassium or my phosphorus or decrease my salt or you know diets are totally different pre-transplant and post-transplant. So
Mhm.
It's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely consult your doctor too, right? Because what something that's good for you or I might be different for everyone
of
else, right?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and have something. I know it's sometimes when you're not feeling good and it's really easy just to kind of sink into yourself and it's like not go to work or not go to school or something like that. But you need to try and as best you can to keep continuing with those things because those are the things that, keep you going. You don't
Hmm.
want to just kind of isolate yourself and fall into this rut of, you know, woe is me, wallowing about yourself. It's so easy to kind of fall into that and you can get depressed that way the more you so trying to stay connected to people through all of the things that you have going on. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Connection is in our name, and there's a reason for that, right? Because
Yeah.
staying connected with our community is so vitally important. And that's one of the things that we want to provide is a community for these young adults. And hopefully in the future, all adults, gotta start small before you can get big. And
Right.
but that's one of the things that when I got together with Machen and Rocky, our secretary and our vice president, when we formed this, I was like, we need a community. And they were like, I absolutely agree. We need some sort of community to fall back on if we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So it's a journey that is better shared, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you know especially in the young adult phase because that's when I had the most challenge.
Hmm.
As I was diagnosed with kidney disease when I was 15
Hmm.
and transplanted at 22. So that time in college, I didn't always make the right choices. It's very easy to, if you're feeling okay, it's really easy to n not continue with your healthy routines and your healthy practices.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I mean it can be a challenge, especially when if you're on your own, like you're
Mhm.
away at college and your parents aren't there and you
Yep.
don't have close relationships. um it's all on you, so trying to figure out a way to be consistent with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
um
I've I've found that my wife, who's sitting right over there, is really good at helping me stay on top of my stuff. I think having
yeah,
having a person whether it's a friend or a significant other or a parent or whoever's having someone there to help you out is good because I was talking to a dialysis tech for one of these interviews, and I won't spoil too much because at this point we haven't gotten to her yet, but she said, again, you can't do this without a community.
yeah,
Especially, in the context of dialysis and things, you definitely, if you don't have a community with that, it can I can imagine where it would feel kind of isolating, right? Um,
yeah, 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 for sure.
and hard to keep pushing and keep going, right? And that's
Especially
what we
when,
want to do.
yeah, I just remember in college you're trying to be as normal as possible like
Mm.
everybody else, and taking medicine and going to the doctor frequently and stuff, that's atypical of what everybody else is doing in college. So
Yeah.
it's very easy to fall out of habits and routines that can make you unwell. Um, so finding those key people that can help remind you, not remind you of the disease that you might have, but
Hmm.
remind you about, how to stay healthy and keep looking forward to what's next. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's important to see the person who's dealing with the kidney disease. It's important to see them as a person and not their disease, right? So like, maybe maybe it's seeing you as Brian who loves going outdoors and loves camps and likes driving the school bus, and not Brian that has kidney disease, right?
Of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the ultimate goal, right?
Right, exactly,
I
exactly. We
think.
want to live a normal life. And so I
Yeah,
think for our friends out there that and this does affect our friends, but for our friends and family out there who want to focus in on our disease, it's easy to get carried away when we do that, but I think it's important to let our friends and family know, hey, I'm a person too, right?
of course. Yeah, we definitely need to be more than, I mean, our disease has been a big part of
Hmm.
what our worldview is and how we interact with situations and people. But I think the more you are able to live with it, um, the easier it is to have it just be blended into your daily life.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, just my encouragement would be just to keep keep talking about it with the people that you're close to,
Mhm.
um, and eventually it'll be just become a part of the fabric of the life that you're living. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I try to do with my friends in high school and even my friends now that, I make at work and stuff. I try to talk with them about it a little bit, but it's just it's it's who I am. It's what's made me who I am, and I wouldn't change it. Even if I got the choice to say, "Hey, would you live this life again?" I would absolutely live it again because I've met so many great people out of it, you know,
Hmm.
and I've met so many, I mean, my pediatric surgeon was the best man in my wedding for crying out loud, So I mean, it's given me some really memorable r relationships with others, and some great things.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely true.
What is one misconception about kidney disease that you would like to clear up, maybe?
Hmm. Um, I mean, I don't know if I can speak for everybody. I mean, there's so many different types of kidney disease or
Hmm.
different causes of kidney disease out there. Um, I don't know if I'm in the know about all the different types of misconceptions and stuff, but I think I mean we've kind of talked about a little bit that you know once you're diagnosed that your life just kind of I don't want to say over. Your life is just terrible from there on out.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. I mean,
Right.
most most things. I mean, especially if you're able to get a transplant, you know, you should have. There's so much hope for a long life and
Hmm.
um, a rich life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only misconception that I can think of, and I don't even know if that's a misconception anymore. Because if you're talking
I
with
would
your
say so.
nephrologist or somebody, they're going to tell you that that yeah, once you get this one, even on dialysis, you're still going to be feeling better than you were, and then once you're
Mhm.
eligible, get a transplant, you're going to be so healthy and um, or feel great. So yeah, believe them
Yeah.
because you will.
Yeah. Well, there's so many misconceptions. Like, for if I were to answer this question, there's so many misconceptions around organ donation as a whole, you know?
Mm,
And I feel like one of the ones that I first heard that really made me mad as a middle schooler was that if you give away one of your kidneys, it's gonna kill you. And I heard that on TV and I was like, ooh,
mm,
that sounds like a misconception that needs to be taken care of or
I,
squashed as soon as possible because that's such a damaging statement to be made on
yeah,
live television, you know. I wouldn't give away one of my kidneys because it's going to kill me. Okay, maybe that's what the doctor told you for your specific experience, maybe. Because not everyone is able to donate an organ, right? Just like not everyone is able to receive an organ. Um, but I think it's important to clear up these misconceptions that we have about organ donation and kidney disease because it helps humanize us more, right? Helps
sure,
make this seem like we're not just out here begging for kidneys or whatever, right? Or right?
right. Well,
Yeah.
and I think the cool thing now, especially with the donor network and stuff, is anybody can donate to anybody now.
Mhm.
You don't even, I mean, my dad donated to me, so that was a direct living donation. And he only has one kidney. He's doing great. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
um, no misconceptions needed there. Um,
It's good.
but yeah, with the paired matching program, it's like if anybody feels compelled to donate and they're eligible to donate, they have to have healthy organs themselves.
Mhm.
Um, that yeah, you don't have to be a familial match to anybody. You
Yeah,
can donate and eventually it comes back around or somebody's going to donate to you. So
that's
um,
right.
that's what happened with my most recent one.
That's
So
awesome.
that's yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never met anyone other than you that's done the paired exchange. It's if you would like, do you want to share a little bit about that and how that works?
Um, yeah, I mean, kind of described it a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
my sister donated, um, so it didn't have to really go too far to,
Hmm.
invite people to donate. Um, and then so once somebody gets tested that wants to donate, that person, so my sister was matched to somebody in the United States, um, and then other couples like that. I don't know how big the circle goes, but so my sister would donate to somebody, and then that person's donor would donate to somebody else, and then that person would donate to somebody else's partner, and eventually it would come back to me where somebody would, that's donating on behalf of somebody else would be my donor. So it's kind of a little circle where
Yeah.
you get matched up. And the process happens, more quickly this way, which is super important for folks that, you know, have been waiting a while.
Mhm.
So,
That's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out here since we're running out of time. Um, here's our closing question that we're gonna ask every kidney patient that I interview consistently at the end here. And that question is, what has helped you reclaim a sense of control or dignity in your journey?
oh, big questions.
Hmm.
I think from the start, I've always been heavily involved in what's going on with my body, even when I was first diagnosed with kidney disease, you know, in high school. Um, I always wanted to know. I didn't want my parents just getting the information. So,
Hmm.
um, claiming that ability for myself to always understand what's going on with me,
Hmm.
um, asking the doctor questions, researching, even not just, you know, medicine and, why is this happening, but I was really interested in how the whole process works, you know? So I studied my undergrad degree was in biochemistry and studying the kidney specifically for my thesis. So, um, you know, just wanting to own that and um, know as much as you can so that you feel like you have the ability to ask the right questions and um, you don't feel like you're being left out of the loop or left in the dark. Um, so I think it's important that I that folks stay as knowledgeable as they can about their whole process and what's going on, and um, just try and educate themselves. And I think groups like yours, Dakota, are really valuable because they're gonna, as we learn from each other, we help inspire each other to um, know as much as we can about what's going on with our bodies and how to stay healthy. And the more we learn, the more we can share with others, and it's just kind of a big, um, connection, a kidney connection,
That's
where
right.
we're supporting and learning from each other, um, and that's how we, can keep control over um, who we are. We're able to show up for ourselves every day, and show up for others. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's been really important to me is just being in charge of my own health,
Yeah.
not just being a here's the instructions from your doctor, do
Mhm.
this. I needed to know more.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to know as much as they can about what's going on.
I would have to agree with you on that. I like to take charge of my own health and get more information about what I am doing before I make a commitment. And you know what I mean? Like, I think there's something empowering about taking control of your body, especially when your body doesn't want to work for you, right?
Right.
Um,
Yep.
I think it's just so empowering to have people around you and to have control over your body, and it's a wonderful thing. Well, thank you very much, Brian, for taking the time out of your day to to chat with me about kidney disease. Um, I believe on the Wednesday after this interview, we will be talking to Dr. Randy Jenkins, a pediatric nephrologist in Idaho who is semi retired. So it
Yes, and
that's
somebody very important in your life, I know from
yes,
our
absolutely. My
conversations. So,
he's my old pediatric nephrologist, so it's going to be a fun interview. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and uh, yeah, we hope to see you at the next one. Thank you so
yep.
much.
Thank you.